Live, and yes, we are. And hello, and welcome to today's Shining the Light on Our Community. I'm very, very excited because with us today, once I finish all the little tech stuff, there you go, and come back again. With us today, we have a beautiful, beautiful woman who's tuning in all the way from, I've got no idea. Anyway, the other side of the world, Lily. Thank you, Lily, for joining us for our conversation. And I said, I'm really excited to get to know a little bit more about you and your journey and how you got to where you are now. So, and you're here today because you want to share some things about your life and how you've overcome all the challenges that life brings us. You know, life is very good to help us grow, brings us lots of challenges. So,
yeah.
Lily, I said, welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome to today. Just tell us about you. Let's start. I want to hear about Lily, the
Sure.
life of Lily, and how you got to where you are now from
Okay.
you.
Sure. So I was born in a pretty academic medical family, Indian on both sides, on the East Coast in the USA. I'm right now in San Diego, California. I'm 52 years old. I started the spiritual path when I was 7. My mother asked me to pray, twice a day because she said, Lily, you can come and complain to me and your father, but you need to go to God because there's certain things God can change that, we can't. I took it very seriously and I did. And it really built quite a relationship and some faith that helped me through some of the tough times. So some of the tough times that I think helped me develop and grow and helped me later as a psychologist with their people's challenges were my father was diagnosed with ALS when I was 13. He died when I was 17. My sister then had lupus right afterwards. Luckily, it was very minor. Initially, though, it looked quite severe, so we were very scared. My mother's a physician, so she really panicked and got very worried. It was pretty hard on her, I think. Managing 2 cultures, managing 2 girls with teenage issues was very tough. And then college, I wish I could have enjoyed it more. I know it's an exciting time. I tried to make the most of it. I think I was really grieving quite a bit about my dad. And then I went to grad school. Grad school was more exciting for me. I had dealt with the grief in the senior year, and suddenly my grades soared, and I got into a PhD program for psychology, and I was doing really well. But I was very scared of intimacy and a personal relationship with just for myself, not friendships, but just a romantic relationship. I'd been in a serious romantic relationship. It had ended right about the time my dad died. So it was like a double blow. And I think I was just very scared. And so it took me quite a bit of time to develop that trust again. And I think that's really common for people who've lost a parent in that age range. That's what I discovered later. And like I say, when I became a psychologist, I was one of the younger psychologists. Since God was so real to me, I incorporated it and asked my clients about their backgrounds, their philosophical backgrounds, what they'd been raised with. They really appreciated that. Most of my clients were indigo, if not all. They were spiritual, they prayed, they meditated, they'd had spiritual experiences, they had psychic experiences. So they really appreciated that. However, the Board of Psychology did not. The Board of Psychology decided to attack me. I told them they were prejudiced. I really stood up for myself. They were quite brutal. I didn't really care. I was pretty fed up. I had been a doctor for 24 years. I had served society. I had gotten excellent recommendations. I was considered to be a supervisor. I had been voted member of the board by 800 psychologists. So I was doing really well. And I was pretty fed up. There was a diva attitude a little bit because we're very close to Hollywood. And we had models, we had actresses, we had good looking people in California. And I was like, you know what? You can take it and keep it. I'll serve spiritual people. So I left. Luckily, I had been doing readings all along. I'd been serving the church, my self-realization fellowship church. I'd been a Sunday school teacher. So I then decided to do readings. I'd already had 2 radio shows. I was being considered for a TV show. I had wrote a book about my clients' spiritual traditions. Unfortunately, got lost on my Dell computer, but I will try to rewrite it again. And so what else can I tell you? I can say meditation. I started meditating at age 30, and about 33, I became like Sylvia Brown, like I think the rest of us here who've been watching. Suddenly my intuition just burst through, and I knew if the person was lying. I knew things about the clients before they would tell me. I saw the past, the future. Right in the therapy sessions, it would kind of intermingle, and I realized I had to be really careful. And then I started doing readings on a whole new level, and it took more of a life coaching feel. I can help people with careers. My gift seems to be timing. You tell me your age, I can see timelines. I'll see a golden line, and I'll see like what happened, what's coming up, when you might possibly pass, different death points. So I think everyone's intuition is wonderful, and it works in different ways, and that's just
Yes.
mine.
Yes.
I met a number of people with really special gifts. An Indian priest who literally saw your whole astrological chart right in his third eye. My mother had a real good knack. She meditated for 40 years, would do 8 hours on Christmas Day, 4 hours of meditation on Easter. And so I tried to do that. And then several hours on the weekend, every Saturday and Sunday night. And I do that. And then I do an hour in the morning, an hour at night. And it really helps. And yeah, that's my thing. And I've been exercising since I've been 21. I'm now 52, and that's really helps with releasing the stress and making sure you know what's you and versus what's the other energy in the room. And that's a real good short life summary, I think. And then that's what I'm doing now, is just a bunch of readings. And I'm here in California, and as a backup, I do notary work, and I also work as a caregiver for people, because I took care of my mother for 24 years and my father.
And stuff. All right, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. You've had, a very interesting journey and stuff, especially, starting out with a PhD, and then really now getting more into the spiritual / psychic realm and things like that. And you're able to offer readings for people?
Readings and mediumship, yeah.
And mediumship, and that's online?
Online, through Facebook Messenger, through Zoom, through phone calls, through email, yeah.
Yeah. And how have you, Lily, with your actual gifts, especially when you said that, when you were 30, you started to meditate and your intuition kind of really woken and burst open. How are you able to use your gifts, or how have your gifts helped you in your life?
Sure. So when I was a child, I saw spirits, and I think I might have heard them, but very briefly. My intuition was always really strong, so I saw a lot more and I felt a lot more. Then and I kept asking the angels, please help me hear. Please help me hear the answers to questions. At about 32, 33, one morning I was meditating, and I was asking about my love life. I asked a question, and I literally heard an answer. And then I was stunned, and I wrote it down in my notebook. And then I asked another question. I heard another answer. I asked another question, and I was like, wow, this is great. I'm clear on it. I was excited. So the way it helps clients is, if you ask me the date of when you expect a pregnancy, if you ask which town you're moving to, and you give me like a list of towns, if you say, which med school am I going to, and you give me a list of med schools, I can tell you which one it is. That happened with my best friend. I told her where she was going to med school. It was Antigua. It was a different country. It was not here. So it helps them in terms of careers too. People will give me the names of their bosses, prospective companies, and I can read the energy of the companies and let you know which one is a better, more collaborative, more healthier environment versus one that's not. I just hear information. So basically I just listen, and I listen to my guides, your guides, and I relay the information to you. I also see information. So like I'll, see a lot of stuff, and then I'll feel a lot of stuff. It sounds like you're about to say something. I'm sorry.
No, I'm listening.
Oh, okay. So, and then the last thing was, I do automatic writing as well. So sometimes I'll, if I feel there's a spirit there or an energy there, if I feel like sometimes the spirit needs to communicate that way, I'll just take a notebook, light a candle, make it completely silent, or put some spiritual music really low, and then I'll just wait, and I'll ask the questions that you're asking, and then get the answers and then relay them back to you. So yeah, so it's been really a journey. I had no idea I could get so much. I really used to go to mediums for understanding because I had such a hard time growing up and figuring stuff out, where to specialize in as a psychologist, certain things about myself. I had no idea I'd be doing all this. So for me, that was a surprise.
Mm-hmm. It's quite different, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
It's very, very, very different going from, psychology to.
Be careful how you stay you be positive, and I try to be really positive and use. I mentioned this in the seminar when you had it back in October, Radley Valentine's and Doreen Virtue's decks, because they tell the current energy and then how to manifest or heal moving forward, which I find so helpful. And I know my clients do too.
Yeah, good. Thank you. Wanting to get to know more. So tell me, Lily, what do you consider to be your superpower?
Superpower, God, probably. The fact that I'm tuned into God, and God has definitely protected me. And I can give you certain stories if you want to hear it.
Okay.
You want to hear it?
Yeah, sure. Sure.
So here in San Diego, there's a highway called 52, which has strong winds up to 30 to 50 miles an hour. I didn't know this, right? I've been living here 25 years. So I was on that one day, I was driving for a notary appointment. I'm driving and suddenly the car starts swaying and I'm losing control. And there's a huge RV next to me. And I'm like freaking out because I have a Honda Civic. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to die. So I'm literally sitting there. I'm holding on and I'm saying, God, please, Archangel Michael, because Michael helps with, electronics. And I'm saying, please help. And I'm like, okay, God, I surrender. It's up to you. If you really want me to die, I'm okay. And literally I felt like angelic hands take the control and steer the car away. And he was veering towards me. So he was freaking out. So he veered towards this way. And it stopped, and I burst into tears because literally we were this close to getting killed. Mm-hmm. And then the winds died down. I pulled over to the side. I just burst into tears, let myself cry, and then realized I had been saved. And then I just calmly went to the appointment and told my client what happened. And they said, oh yeah, there's winds. You didn't know that? And I said, no one told me. So I was stunned, but I felt so grateful that I had been protected. So that's just one example of something that happened.
Good, you're good. And thank you for sharing that, because you never know what can happen. I've also had, so many experiences when we do just surrender, we ask and we surrender, then we get so much help.
Sure.
So thank you for sharing that. And what about each day with everything that's gone on in your life and now and things, but what motivates you to keep getting out of bed?
I have a lot that motivates me. I'm very grateful I'm healthy. I have a wonderful family. I have my sister, her 3 beautiful kids, my brother-in-law. I've got 20 cousins and they all have kids. I have aunts and uncles. Both my parents are gone. My grandparents are gone. I have really wonderful friends, some of them from high school, some of them from grad school, some of them, believe it or not, the one friend that I really had during college died of cancer. And then the other friend that was really my best friend, he doesn't believe in spirituality, so we kind of went separate ways. But I wish him well. But yeah, I'm grateful I feel like I have a lot to offer the world. I'm excited because I love cartoons. I love the Oracle decks. I love the fact that Facebook allows me to talk with people across the world, like yourself in Australia. I think that that's neat because I've met some of my soul family. Yeah. So I met through the clients, through other readers. I've met such a broad depth of people, professionally, cross-culturally, just in socioeconomic status, some rich, some poor, and the stories and the people have really touched me. And I look forward to it because I really like getting to know people. So I'm really lucky. I have a lot of friends, and as my parents would say, if you have friends, you are a rich person. And if you have one good friend, you're really lucky. That's what my grandfather kept telling me. And I was like, okay, I got you. Yeah. So I consider myself very lucky. I really do.
Good. And isn't that amazing what happens in our lives when we do that? when
Yeah.
we have that kind of whole attitude.
Yeah.
Yes, and to keep experiencing that, and then the universe brings us more opportunities to feel
I
lucky.
I agree. I
And
totally
so,
agree.
yeah. So, what are the most important lessons in life that you've learned?
To forgive yourself. Everyone has regrets. I have regrets. I have a lot of regrets. I have made mistakes. I have made so many mistakes. The important thing is to forgive yourself and keep going and keep trying. Never give up to improve yourself, because you can be a better version of yourself, and you can surprise yourself, you can surprise your family, you can surprise your friends, and you can end up really touching their hearts. Really, I'll give you an example. All my friends have kids, most of them. Some of them don't, like Nikita doesn't, right? Nikita doesn't. Who else doesn't? Nikita might be the only one. Kula's got 2 sons. Clarice has a daughter. I'm thinking of all the people. Bianca doesn't have a child. Okay, so it's Bianca. All right. So, but all my friends from high school have a child, or children, I should say. I love kids. I wanted kids. I surprised my sister because I wasn't jealous of her, and I really treasure her kids. And now I'm so close with them, they consider me a second mom. With my friends' children, I have given them gifts and I've shown them love. And my friend who recently had a son graduate college, and then, well, no, I'm sorry, high school, and then the other one just like was a year or two behind. There were 2 sons. They were having quite a bit of time struggling with each other, and I gave them a good amount of money for their graduations, and they were very surprised. I've known them for 22 years, right? 22 years. They just didn't realize that I valued them and treasured them and was looking forward for their futures as well. And they were really touched. The first son insisted on calling me, asking me, so that he thanked me, he wanted to know, how long I'd known his mother and what did I think and why, it was very sweet. And then the second son did the same thing. He's like, how did you meet my mom, Lily? And I said, and then I told him. So to me, it's like when you touch people that way, it's very special. And when you surprise people with your love and your caring, to me, that's really great. And I know a number of people do it, and I think it's wonderful.
So, thank you. Thank you. We do have a few people watching. We actually do have quite a few people watching, which is really, really nice.
Oh, cool. Let me just look on my, because I can't tell on this.
Let
me see on my, and then view. Okay, there we go. Oh, okay. Maybe it doesn't show on my.
Yeah, it's okay. It's no problem.
Oh, I see. Yeah, no, I see the people now. Oh, well, that's
great.
Yeah,
we do have people watching, so let me just get rid of that. So, yes, now, can I ask you, Lily, is there any other questions before we finish? Is there any other questions that I could have asked? And how would have you answered that?
Sure, I think you could. Is there a particular faith or church that works for you, and why? Yeah. What were you raised with? What do you follow now? For me, it was Self-Realization Fellowship. It seems to work. It's a very universal kind of a church that promotes meditation and has people of all faiths. That's the only thing I think you could have asked that maybe you didn't, but I can see you're definitely trying to cover all bases. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah. So tell us, is there any particular faith and things like that that you follow?
Yeah. So both my parents actually, we were raised Hindu, but we always believe in Jesus Christ. And so we would pray to him twice. And then my parents found this church called Self-Realization Fellowship. And it's a worldwide organization. And they meditate every day, twice a day. And they have 3 meditation techniques that they teach. They teach you how to meditate. And they claim that Jesus taught that to his apostles. And so we have people of like the Muslim faith, the Jewish faith coming, and everybody just sits and we celebrate all the traditions. So we celebrate all the holidays, and we meditate, and it's great. And so I grew up with it. I knew I would take it more seriously when I was 30. I'd promised myself after grad school I had to make meditation, because both my parents did it, despite the fact that they worked full time and they were tired. And I was like, I'm going to do it. It matters. It's important. I have to serve God. And so I did it, and it really changed my life. It gave me the strength to put up with all these obstacles I described to you. It really, Without it, honestly, Sophia, I think I might have killed myself. Because the year my mother died 2 years ago, 3 other family members died as well. And they were very close to me. And so the reason why I'm able to be the strength for my family, the reason why everybody looks up to me is because I'm able to kind of hold firm, because I feel like I've got God right here, my angels right here, my family's right here. And like I said, I feel really blessed. And I think the church has helped tremendously, because they've become a family of sorts. And I've served as a Sunday teacher, and I've helped clean the church, and I do all the volunteering that everybody does. And so I'm one of the core members now, because here in San Diego, I've been here for 26 years. So I've helped out. And then back in New York, I was raised in the Sunday school. So yeah, that's something that's definitely made a huge difference in my life. And I'm super grateful to have it.
Good. And thank you. And you can see, your whole personality and how that has helped you in your
Yes.
life, because you know that you're not alone.
True.
You know that that you're, God, whatever is out there for you, it's God, and your faith has got your back, basically.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And stuff.
Yeah.
So thank you. Thank you ever so much for coming. Now, we have had people watching us. So for everyone who is doing it there, who is watching us, please click on the links below. Connect with Lily, especially even if you just want to chat or just to connect. And you offer readings as well.
Yeah, I would have totally appreciate it. Love getting to know new people.
Yeah, good.
Can't have no friends.
All right. And thank you for being part of Harmony Fest in October. Looking forward to the next one. We've got another one coming up in March.
Okay.
And we're really looking forward to that. So thank you ever so much for joining us today, Lily. It's been a real honor to.
Oh no, I thank you. It's been an honor here too to get to know you and to serve. I have a question.
Yes.
Are we allowed to go live on the Sacred You page if we've done the fest?
Yes.
Oh, cool. Okay, so I will go live maybe today or tomorrow.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, great to know.
All righty, and I'm just going to say goodbye to Facebook world, and everyone out there who's watching, do click on the links below, connect with Lily, whether it's on Facebook or TikTok or Instagram, and we will see you very, very soon.
Cool.